I'm Nigel Shepherd. I'm the superintendent of the market, which is quite an old-fashioned title. It means I'm the general manager. So I'm the most senior person here on behalf of the City of London, who's the landlord and operator of the site. It's 32 acres. The market hall itself, which is the big blue building in the middle of the site, that's really the wholesale market. Some people disparagingly may look at this place and say, oh, it's a shed. Yes, but there's 120 businesses running here, with 2,500 people and 3,500 visitors and loads of vehicles, and so it gets well used, shall we say, throughout a working day, and it just needs to be kept in good condition. It needs to be clean and tidy and ready for business next day, and it needs to be a safe place to do business. If you compare to Covent Garden, they are much bigger in what we would call catering supply, which is different to wholesale.
It was set up originally when the Corporation of London took over the running of the market back in about 1926. The idea then was that it was easier for the corporation to deal with one body rather than over 100 tenants. Over the years of it being in place, it has probably acted more perhaps as a benevolent, certainly through war times when they're looking after the families of the people that could have been affected. So it was again that sort of community thing, and they would all look out for each other. Now it is about representation of the tenants, but it's also about promoting New Spitalfields market within the industry. If you are a member, then you can call upon this office to help you sort of advise where to source information on employment law, health and safety, and we will help try and resolve any issues they might have with the landlord. We're not a legal body. We could only advise people. I might just be the first port of call. It's often just a bit of reassurance as to where to source information from.
And what are the most common things people come to you for?
They grumble a lot about the landlords and the issues of the day, which is health and safety currently at the moment. We're just going through lease renewal, so there's quite a lot of topics to be discussed.
I think we would say it's a good relationship. I mean, we appreciate that what we are is the landlord. We're the owners and operators. We tend to work with our tenants as much as we can, but ultimately, yes, we are accountable for sort of health and safety and how this total site operates. So what has been created here, which is very effective, is the Tenants Association. So it's a collective body, it's a management team, if you like, of traders. They understand the business inside and out. And we communicate with them regularly. It would be very difficult to communicate regularly with 140 different businesses. It's just impossible.
What's your competition like? How many markets are there around the country?
There are 27, I think. There's actually quite a number of them. London is different and unique. There are 3 wholesale markets around London.
Wholesale fruit and veg and flower markets, yeah.
We're the largest by far, and we usually look at the amount of produce that we trade. So we're friendly competition. We see what works in other locations and see if we can replicate it in ours.
We're all very closely in touch with each other, very competitive, because again, we're in a sector of the market that's fighting for its survival. So the strength is in the unity of those 3 markets and the UK wholesale markets as well.
So even though they're competition, in what way would you work with them?
Again, it would be trade related. It could be legislation to do with produce. It could be, again, health and safety, all kinds of issues of running a site or operating from a site. Do they do something better than we do, and vice versa? But it is also about the trade. And if there are any issues, credit control is a big one.
Tell me more about credit control.
Basically, if you've got a company that's either is perhaps a customer to the market and not paying, it could be a customer to any other market. So there'd be a little bit of information on that. Supplies, are the supplies as good as they used to be from a particular company?
So despite you being competitors in many ways, you're actually quite collaborative.
Yes, London's a big enough city to need the 3 wholesale markets, one in the west, one more central with New Covent Garden and ourselves in the east. So we can spread that business quite easily around London and the home counties. But you've still got an overlap of an area of customer base, and suppliers are the same.
Most of the wholesale markets, are run by and large local authorities, or sometimes a private entity. Most of them really only run one.
So this is quite a special setup.
City of London is fairly unique that we got 3, and they're big. All of them are big. Obviously, Billingsgate is unique. It's the largest inland fish market. So we're a bit quirky, the City of London.
I mean, you've got the meat, the fish, which obviously is City of London. We've got the common problem of the landlord and the issues of the day, although we don't have the competitiveness of the produce.
The entire department, the senior managers come together regularly once a month, and so we do compare and contrast. We have business planning meetings to talk about issues that should cut across all of the types of industries that we're all worked with. So it becomes a collective management responsibility to make sure that we share good ideas. We all have business plans, and we all get to see what each other are up to and pick good ideas and swap stories.